Good morning, students. Today we will start with chapter 6 of Geography, grade 10th, Manufacturing Industries. Your chapter starts from page 65. Now, in page 65, we have to first define manufacturing industries. So, students, a place where primary goods, that is a raw material, are converted into finished products using machines are called manufacturing industries. So, the primary product, the primary good which is coming from the primary sector, that is agriculture, that is raw material that is converted into the finished goods or finished products using machinery and other sophisticated process, are called manufacturing industries. Like cloth is manufactured from cotton, sugar is manufactured from sugarcane, paper from wood, iron from iron ore, and aluminium from bauxite. So these are the some of the examples of the secondary sector manufacturing process. Now, in our economy, we have to see the importance of manufacturing industries. That what role these manufacturing industries they play in our economy. So, the economic strength, students, of a country is measured by the development of manufacturing industry. So, the if we have to see the economic strength of any country, so that will be measured by the development of manufacturing industry. That how much this sector is developed. So manufacturing sector, students, its importance, it has a great importance in our economy. Manufacturing sector is considered to be the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular, because manufacturing industries not only help in modernizing agriculture, which forms the backbone of our economy. If you see our economy, we are having agriculture base. So the manufacturing industries help in modernizing our agriculture by providing sophisticated and new technologies. So they reduce the heavy dependence of people on agriculture income also by providing them jobs. So they absorb the surplus labor from the agriculture in their industries. So this is also in this way they are contributing to the economy, and this is also very important. Then students, the next is the industrial development is a precondition for eradication for the removal of unemployment and poverty from our country. So this is the main belief, you can say, behind the public sector industries and joint sector ventures in India. It has also aimed at bringing down regional disparities by establishing industries in tribal and backward areas. So you see regional imbalances there in our country. Some states are really prosperous, where a lot of industrialization has been happening. So many agricultural lands they are having. So they are the prosperous region. And what about the backward regions? So how they can be developed? By setting up industries there. Such kind of policy should be framed by the government so that they can attract the industry in those backward areas. So industrial development, students, is a precondition, it is a prerequisite for removal of unemployment and poverty in our country. So the export of manufactured goods also expand trade and commerce. So if we are exporting lot and lot of goods, manufactured goods, so our trade and commerce will increase. And if more exports we are having, if we are exporting more and importing less, so we have a favorable balance of trade. So that will be good position. We will have lot of foreign exchange. We will earn lot of foreign exchange through increasing our exports. So we will export then only when we will manufacture goods. So we will have lot of foreign exchange if our exports increase. So increasing exports is an indicator of favorable balance of trade also. So countries that transform their raw materials into wide variety of finished goods of higher value are prosperous. So if you see, if countries rather than selling a raw material, they will process their raw material into some finished good, they will earn more. Some value is added in the finished good. So India's prosperity lies in increasing and diversifying its manufacturing industries as quickly as possible. So this is the need of the hour, diversifying our industries, our manufacturing industries. So students, you know this also, that agriculture and industry, they are not exclusive of each other. They are not separated from each other, rather they are interrelated. They move hand in hand, The agriculture is dependent on industry for the for agriculture equipment, for machinery, for other equipment. And industry is also dependent on agriculture, especially the agro-based industry. They are dependent on the agriculture for the raw material. They are dependent on the agriculture for the food. The entire nation is dependent on agriculture rather for the food, but they are also. So, for instance, the agro industries in India have given a major boost to agriculture by raising its productivity. They depend on later for raw material and sell their products such as irrigation pumps, fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, PVC pipes, machines to the farmers, and farmers require them in their day-to-day agricultural activities. Thus, development and competitiveness of manufacturing industry has not only existed agriculture in increasing their production, but they also made the production process very efficient and quick. So the effort of the farmer has been reduced with the use of these machineries to a certain extent. So now students, on page 66. So of your NCERT book. So earlier also I was explaining that agriculture and industry, they are not separated from each other. They move hand in hand. So for agriculture it is important to increase the productivity. The machinery is required. And in the present day world, student, of globalization, where our markets are interlinked, our industry need to be more efficient and competitive. So in order to face the international competition, we have to improve our quality. We have to increase our efficiency. We have to increase our productivity. Self-sufficiency alone is not enough. Our manufactured goods must be at par in quality with those in international markets. So we have to compete with them. Otherwise, we will not survive in the market. So only then we will be able to compete in the international market and survive there. So it is very important to improve our quality of products, especially the manufactured products. So now the next which we have to see is contribution of industry to national economy. Now what contribution industry have in our national economy, this we have to see. So over the last 2 decades, students, the share of manufacturing sector has came to a standstill at 17% of the GDP, and out of which total 27% for the industry, which includes 10% for mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. So over the last 2 decades, students, the share of manufacturing sector has stagnated at 17%, out of which the 27% is for the industry, which includes 10% for mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. So this is much lower if we see the other East Asian economies like China, Japan, Hong Kong, where it is 25 to 35%, and see our GDP. And the trend of growth rate in manufacturing over the last decades has been around 7%. So the desired growth rate over the next decade is 12%. So with appropriate students policy interventions by the government and renewed efforts by the industry to improve productivity, economists predict that manufacturing can achieve its target over the next decade. So keeping this in mind, the National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council has been set up to achieve this objective, that is to sustain the growth of manufacturing industry. So now let's see the industrial location, where the industry should be located, what factors we have to keep in mind when we are setting our industry. So industrial location is very important. Factors that contribute to the location of industry, so they are influenced by physical factors, they are influenced by human factors. Like in physical factor, raw material, closeness to the source of bulky and perishable raw material. So the industry should be located where there is availability of a raw material. It is not that industry is in the north and raw material is coming from the south. So it will increase the cost of production of the entrepreneur. He will not earn more profits if this kind of approach is followed. Then it is essential that closeness to the source of bulky and perishable raw material. It is not easy to transport the bulky raw material from here and there, from one corner of the country to the other. So the industry should be located near to the source of bulky raw material. And if we talk about perishable goods also, like in case of sugar cane, the sugar mill should be located near to the sugarcane fields, because if transportation if there will be delay in the transportation of the sugarcane, then it will become dry, and the sucrose content in the sugarcane, it will go dry. So the mills, they will suffer the loss. They will not be able to extract more of the sucrose from the sugarcane, because it will, in the transit, it will become dry. So it is essential, after the harvesting, quickly it should be transported the sugarcane to the sugar mills. So closeness to the source of raw material is essential. Then second, power resources. Closeness to the source of economically viable power resources. Like in case of aluminium smelting, when we are extracting aluminium from the bauxite, a lot of electricity is required to run the aluminium smelters. Electricity is required in aluminium refinery. And next, water, availability of water, abundance of water is required. Like abundance of water is required in processing of a jute. So water availability should be there. Then after that, climate, favorable climatic conditions we have to see. For the processing of raw material like cotton textile industry, require humid climate, so therefore they are located in Maharashtra, because climatic conditions they favor. So these were the physical factors, some of the physical factor on which the location of the industry depends. Now let's talk about the human factors. Labor, availability of cheap and skilled labor should be available. It is not that we have set up everything, we have arranged the capital, we have set up the industry, but labor is not available. Then who will work? Labor is an important factor of production. Then transportation facilities. So if production is being done in the primary and the secondary sector, then how we will transport it? How it will reach to the consumer? Transportation is required. Transportation is required so that raw material should reach to the industry and finished goods should reach to the market. So tertiary sector, the role of tertiary sector comes here. So any industry needs a well-developed transport network for the movement of raw material and finished goods. Then after labor and transport, capital. Every industry needs capital investment, money, which is available through banks. So we have to arrange that also. Then market we have to see. That which everything we will set up, but which market we will capture. Any nearby market is there? Whatever product I am manufacturing, their demand is there in the country or no? Apart from capturing the domestic market, is there any scope of capturing the international market also? So demand and supply also play an important role in the economy of a country. Demand and from the market is met by supply from the industry. So demand from the market is met by supply from the industry. And next thing which we have to see is government policies. Government policies are made to regulate the setting up and functioning of industries. So it should be favorable policies. And in order to attract industry, earlier also I have told you, in the backward regions of the country, government can give tax relaxations to the industrialists. Then only they will go there and set up their industries there. So students, manufacturing activity tends to locate at the most appropriate place where all the factors of industrial location are either available or can be arranged at lower cost. So the next thing which we have to discuss is agglomeration economies. Now students, means when industrialization starts, then urbanization follows. So industrialization and urbanization also goes hand in hand. If industries start being if we set up the industries in the urban areas, then the rural population will also start migrating, because now opportunities are created in the urban area. So urbanization process will also start. And other problems also we see of the urbanization: influx of the population, slum area will come up, congested areas will come up, unhygienic conditions will be there, because there are so many people are gathered there at the small place, sanitation problems. So this we will see congestion. The spreading of disease will be much faster in these kind of areas. So we have seen that with industrialization, urbanization also follows. So cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, this account services, consultants, law, finance to the industry. And many industries tend to come together to make use of these advantages offered by the urban sector, and this is known as agglomeration economies. And gradually a larger industrial agglomeration takes place, and agglomeration economies refer to the benefits received by the firms and the people when they come together to make use of advantages offered by the urban cities that prove more helpful to them. So when more and more industries come and settle in the vicinity, the firms are often located near to each other, so they will have benefits. All will have the benefits together. If one industry will be set up, then looking at that industry, other industries will also come and set up. Then insurance firms will come, banks will come, transportation facilities will be there. So slowly and slowly, all facilities will be there in that area. So that will be the agglomeration economies. So after this, now students, I have talked about on this page, I have talked about the contribution of industry to the national economy, industrial location we have talked about, and agglomeration economy we have talked about. So students, now moving to page 67 of your book. Now here the topic which we have to discuss is classification of industries. So the classification of industries, if we see the first classification on the basis of source of raw material. So the classification can be agro based, like cotton, woolen, jute, silk, textile, rubber, sugar, tea, coffee, edible oil. So all this raw material of this industry is coming from agriculture. So in that sense, this industry is agro based. The next is mineral based. Now mineral based industry examples like iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine, tools, and petrochemicals. So again, the raw material for this industry, the mineral-based industry, is coming from mining, and mining also comes under your primary sector only. Okay, then is according to the main role performed by the industry. So basic or key industry and consumer industry. So basic or key industry means which supply their product or raw material to manufacture other goods like iron and steel and copper smelting, aluminium smelting. Then consumer industries that produce goods for direct use by consumer. So directly the goods are consumed by consumer like sugarcane, toothpaste, paper, sewing machine, fans. So that is a consumer industry. So on the basis of source of raw material, students, agro based and mineral based. And according to the main role, we have basic or key industries and consumer industries. Now on the basis of capital investment, students, the industry can be small scale industry and the large scale industry. So when the investment is made up to 1 crore, so that is a small scale industry like toy making, candy making, chips making, napkin making. So these are the small scale industry. And when investment is more than 1 crore, so that is a large scale industry. An example of large scale industry, you can say youth industry, tea industry, cement industry, engineering, iron and steel industry. So that is the large scale industry. Now on the basis of ownership, students, who is the owner of the industry. So public sector industry and private sector, joint sector and cooperatives. Now public sector, which is owned and operated by the government agencies like Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, SAIL, Steel Authority India Limited. Then the private sector means owned and operated by individuals or a group of individuals like TISCO, Tata Iron and Steel Company, Bajaj Auto, Dabur Industries. So all these are private sector industries. Then we have joint sector industries, which are jointly run by the state and individuals or group of individuals, like Oil India. So that is a joint sector company. Then we have cooperative sector industries, which are owned and operated by producers or suppliers of raw material, workers, or both. So, in this, the suppliers or the producers of raw material, they pool their resources, they share the profit or losses proportionately, such as sugar industry in Maharashtra, coir industry in Kerala, Amul in Gujarat, Verka in Punjab. So all these are examples of the cooperatives where the suppliers or the producers of raw material, they come together, they pool their resources, and then they share their profit and losses accordingly. Now, the next classification is based on the bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods. So, for that, we have categories of heavy industry and light industry. Heavy industry such as iron and steel, where raw material is also bulky and finished goods are also bulky. Light industry, this light industry like electrical industry, which uses light raw material and produce light goods. IT, IT industry, software industry. This is a light industry. Okay, so this was the classification we have discussed, students, on the basis of source of raw material, according to the main role, on the basis of capital investment, on the basis of ownership, and based on the bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods. Now on same page, we have to discuss agro-based industry. So we will discuss agro-based cotton, jute, so silk, wool and textile, sugar, edible oil. So these all industries are based on your agriculture raw material. So now on page 68, students, we have to discuss cotton textile. And the first successful textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. So this is very important underline, please. It can be asked in 1 mark. So in ancient India, students, cotton textiles were produced with hand spinning and hand looms. Okay, hand looms which were manually operated, and after 18th century, power looms which were driven with the power. So they came into the use. So our traditional industry, student, it suffered a setback during the colonial period because they could not compete with the mill-made cloth from England. So if you remember, you know that when we were the colony of the England, when we were the colony of the Britain, at that time we used to send raw material to the Britain, our raw cotton, and then the Britishers, they used to make mill cloth from that raw material, and they used to send the finished good, that is the cloth, the mill based cloth, into our country. So due to this, our handicrafts, our artisans, our weavers, it suffered, our textile industry, it suffered our textile, these weavers and all, it suffered a huge setback. So now, as on students, as on 30th November 2011, there was 1946 cotton and human made fiber textile mills in the country, and about 80% of these are in private sector and rest in the public and the cooperative sector. So now, students, in the early years, the cotton textile industry was just concentrated in the cotton growing belt of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Availability of raw cotton, market, transport, including accessible port facilities, labor, moist climate, contributed towards its localization. That why it is concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat, because of the favorable climatic condition, because of the availability of the raw material, because of the availability of the port facilities. Labor is also available in abundance, and this industry, you know, has a close link with agriculture. Why? Because raw material is coming from agriculture only, and it provides a living to the farmer, to the cotton ball pluckers, and workers who are engaged in its process, that is the ginning, spinning, weaving, dyeing, designing, packaging, tailoring, and sewing. Ginning means when we separate seed from the raw cotton. Spinning, when from the raw cotton we make a yarn. And weaving, when from the yarn we weave a fabric. And after this fabric is ready, we go for the dye. After dye, we go for the designing. After designing, tailoring, sewing, packaging, and then the garment is ready. So these many steps we have to go through. So the industry By creating demand support many other industries like chemicals. So other industries demand is also interlinked with the textile industry like chemicals, dyes, packaging, engineering work, machinery is required. So this was about the cotton textile industry. Now we have to see certain challenges this industry is facing. Like spinning continues to be centralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. But weaving means in these area only spinning activities are being carried out in our country, Maharashtra, basically Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. But weaving is highly decentralized because weaving is a matter of traditional skills. And the design of weaving vary for cotton, for silk, zari, embroidery. So these artisans, all these weavers, they are sitting in different parts of the country. So India has world class production in spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabric as it cannot use much of the high quality yarn produced in the country. So our spinning is very good, but if we see the weaving, that is not up to the mark, and weaving is done by hand looms, by power loom and in the mills. And the handspun khadi that provides a large scale employment to weavers in their houses, in their homes, as a small scale cottage industry. So now students, page 69, here the map is given of the textile industries, and here they have given cotton textile, wool textile, silk textile, but in your syllabus only cotton textile is there for the map marking. So the centers of cotton textile, where cotton textile mills are located, like Kanpur. Okay, Kanpur, they can ask which is Kanpur, it is in Uttar Pradesh. Then Ahmedabad in Gujarat, then Indore in Madhya Pradesh, Surat again in Gujarat. Then we have Mumbai in Maharashtra. Then we have Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu, Madurai in Tamil Nadu. So these are the areas where the major cotton textile mills are located. So now students, page 70 of your book. So I was discussing the before map the challenges to cotton textile industry. What challenges cotton textile industry is facing? So I told you there is a mismatch in spinning and weaving industry. Spinning means which makes our yarn, so it is performing very good. This industry weaving which makes fiber, this is not performing up to the mark. So spinning is centralized in Maharashtra, I told you, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. So due to the favorable climatic condition, so the spinning is centralized to these states, but weaving is decentralized to incorporate traditional skills and designs of weaving. Like it vary from, I told you, cotton, silk, zari, embroidery. So designs of weaving, they vary throughout the country. Like Banarsi sari will be made by skilled artisans living in Banaras only. So ours is a world class spinning, but weaving supplies very low quality of fabric. So students, we export yarn but import fabric. Our spinning is world class, but weaving supplies very low quality of fabric. So we export yarn but we import fabric. Ours 1/4 of share in world's trade of cotton yarn, but only 4% of world trade in garments. So our spinning mills are competitive, but our weaving, knitting and processing unit cannot use much high quality of yarn. So other challenges which textile industry faces is irregular power supply, outdated machinery, low output of labor, and stiff competition with synthetic fiber industry. So these are the challenges which our cotton textile industry is facing. Now another thing which we have to discuss is jute textile. On page 70, jute textile. Now the largest producer of raw jute and the second largest producer, we are the largest producer of raw jute and the second largest exporter after Bangladesh. So India is the largest producer of raw jute and second largest exporter after Bangladesh. So after partition in 1947, students, the jute mills remained in India, but the three-fourth of the jute producing area it went to Bangladesh. Okay, so now means it was Bangladesh was erstwhile East Pakistan. So in 1971, Bangladesh was created. So most of the Indian jute mill students are located in West Bengal near river Hooghly. Now why this is so? So this is because of proximity to the jute producing area. Inexpensive water transport is available. Good network of railways is there. Abundance of water is there for processing the raw jute. And first jute mill was set up in Kolkata only in 1859 at Rasina. So cheap labor is available from West Bengal and joining areas. Kolkata, the urban facilities are available like a banking, market facilities available. But still, certain challenges are there which is faced by this industry. It includes stiff competition by synthetic substitutes, then competition from international competitors like Bangladesh, Brazil, Philippines, Egypt, Thailand, and high cost of our products. So National Jute Policy was announced in 2005 students. It has increased internal demand for jute and government has made it mandatory to use jute for packaging. So the objective was to increase the productivity and cultivation of jute and ensured good prices to the jute farmers. So this was about jute industry. We have seen the jute textile, we have seen the cotton textile. Now the next in line is sugar industry. So students, India stands second as a world producer of sugar, but occupies first place in the production of gur and khandesari. So we are second in the production of sugar, but first in the production of gur and khandesari. So on page 71 students, we have to discuss now sugar industry. So, sugar, I told you, second largest producer. India is the second largest producer of sugar, but the largest producer of gur and khandesari. So the sugarcane, if you see, is a bulky raw material, and in transportation, its sucrose content reduces. So that's why I told you the sugar mill should be located near to the sugarcane fields. Then industry should be situated near to the sugarcane producing area, like the 60% of mills are in UP and Bihar. And this industry is seasonal in nature and ideally suited to the cooperative industries because it is seasonal in nature. If you see, sugarcane is a kharif crop. It is harvested once only in the year, so it is not profitable for the mill owner to keep the sugar mill working for the full year, for the full season, because crop is coming, just raw material is coming just once in a year. So it is profitable as a cooperative venture. If the farmers of the area, they can join their hands, they can pool the resources and raw material they are having, they just set up the unit and it will be more profitable. Rather than selling the sugarcane at the low price, they can sell the sugar, so value is added and it will be more good. So it will be more good as a cooperative venture. So seasonal in nature and ideally suited to cooperative industry. So I have given you the reason. So there is an increase in number of mills in the southern and the western states because of the favorable climatic conditions. But still, this industry faces certain challenges like seasonal nature of the industry. I have told you only once the crop is coming. So it is seasonal in nature. Throughout the year, that much work is not there. And old and inefficient methods of production, so outdated machinery, and certain times the transportation delays are there. And the problem is there that the need to maximize the use of bagasse. So bagasse is a fibrous matter which is left after the sugarcane crush. So we can put it to certain other use. It can be used as a fuel, or it can be used somewhere else to make a paper, or it can be used as a biofuel. Okay, so we have to maximize the use of the bagasse. So there is a need to maximize. It should not be thrown here and there, rather we should utilize it. Now the next which we have to, so this, that is all with your agro based industry. We have discussed cotton textile, we have discussed sugar, we have discussed jute, and now coming to your mineral based industry. And within now mineral based industry, the first which we have to see is your iron and steel industry. Okay, so it is mineral based industry, those industry whose raw material is mineral. So this is basic industry, this is heavy industry. Okay, so this is a basic industry and this is a heavy industry. Basic industry because its goods are also required in other industry for manufacturing as a raw material. So then it's heavy industry because its raw material is also bulky and its finished goods are also bulky. So the production and consumption, so steel is often regarded as the index of a country's development. If more we are producing and more we are consuming, it means we are a developed nation. So steel manufacturing now, students, the ratio of, now we have to see the process of steel manufacturing, and this is very important. Please underline in your book, the table is given, this is very important, which is given on page 71 of your book. It can be asked in the CBSE exam. So for steel manufacturing students, the ratio of approximately 4 is to 2 is to 1 of iron ore, coking coal and limestone is required, and also some quantity of manganese is required. Now after this, students, the process of manufacture of steel starts with transportation of iron ore, that is a raw material, to the plant. So first step is transportation of iron ore, that is a raw material, to the plant. Now in the blast furnace, students, which is used for smelting to produce industrial metal, so in blast furnace the iron ore is added, melted, and then limestone is added as a fluxing material. Now what is the meaning of fluxing material? Means cleaning agent. So slag, that is the impurities, is removed. So in iron ore we have added the limestone to clean the iron ore, and now impurities, the slag, is being removed, and in the process coke, that is a coal, is burned to heat the iron ore in the blast furnace. So we have used coke, that is a coal, in order to provide heat to the blast furnace. So coke is essential input, students, for production of steel. Now the molten iron here students produce is poured into the molds, that is different shapes, which are called pigs. So pig iron is a crude iron first obtained from smelting furnace. So now molten iron produced is poured into the molds called pigs. So pig iron is a crude iron first obtained from smelting furnace. Now next step is pig iron is further purified by melting again and removing the impurities. So at this stage manganese, nickel, chromium, these are added. And students, final step is shaping the metal by rolling, by pressing, by casting and by forging. So all this is done to give shapes to the metal, like casting an object made by pouring molten metal into a mold, forging, make or shape by heating it in a furnace and hammering it. So the final step is shaping, the giving shape to a metal. So now students, in 2016 India was third among the world crude steel. Okay, so India was third and largest producer of sponge iron, and the 2016 per capita consumption of steel was 63 kg per annum. In 1950, students, if we see in 1950, the China and India, they were equal in production of steel. So if we talk about students, the year 1950, at that time China and India, they were producing the same quantity of steel. Now on page 72, students, your map is given, and on the map iron and steel plants are given. So here in your CBSE syllabus, the map, iron and steel plants in the map which can be asked is Durgapur. So please underline Durgapur, which is in West Bengal. Bokaro, please underline, which is in Jharkhand. Jamshedpur, again it is in Jharkhand. Bhilai, this is in Chhattisgarh. Vijayanagar, coming down, it is in Karnataka. Salem, it is in Tamil Nadu. So this is the iron and steel plant, the map work of this chapter. So now students, page 73, here we were discussing earlier the iron and steel industry only we were discussing, and I have told you that in 1950 China and India, they were having equal production of steel, but now China is the largest producer and consumer of steel. So you can imagine the development process which has been going on in China. So location, if we talk about location, mostly iron and steel industry is located in Chota Nagpur region. Reasons, what are the reasons? The low cost of iron ore, okay. Then high grade raw material is available in the proximity. Cheap labor is also available. So these are some of the reason why the industry is being located in Chota Nagpur region. Then certain problems this industry is also facing, students, like high cost and limited availability of coke, okay, this coking coal which is used to create the coke and which is required to heat the blast furnace. So there is a limited availability of this, and this is expensive also. So the major input is expensive and limited in supply, so you can understand it is a problem. Then lower productivity of the labor is not that much capable and skilled, and irregular supply of energy. So you know that we have these problems, India suffer from these problems of that the energy, the power supply is very irregular. Then the poor infrastructure. So in those states, the Chota Nagpur region, you know, the poor infrastructure facilities are there. So these are the problem through which our iron and steel industry is going. So now students, on page 74 we have to discuss the aluminium smelting, and the table which is given on your page 74 in your book, this is very important. If you see, okay, this is very important, please, you have to understand this table. So let's start the aluminium smelting. Now aluminium smelting means the process of heating and extracting metal from ore. So it is the second most important metallurgical industry in India, and its raw material is bauxite, and bauxite is very bulky. So now aluminium has certain properties. It is light, it is resistant to the corrosion, that is a rust. It is good conductor of heat, malleable, and becomes strong when it is mixed with other metal. It is used in aircrafts, utensils, wires, and it is substitute of steel, copper, zinc, and lead in number of industry. So again, location of this industry depends upon lot of factors, like regular supply of electricity. Electricity is very much important. Why? Because aluminium refinery, this aluminium smelters, they work on electricity only, on power supply only. And a sure source of raw material at minimum cost should be available, which is the raw material here is bauxite. Location of this industry: Orissa, West Bengal, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Now, the process, the basic process of this manufacturing in aluminium industry, it starts from bauxite. Bauxite is the raw material. Then from bauxite, alumina is extracted, and from alumina, aluminium is extracted. So there is a table which is given in your book, and CBSE can ask you the question on this, like 4 to 6 tons of bauxite. From 4 to 6 tons of bauxite, you will extract 2 tons of alumina, and from 2 tons of alumina, you will extract 1 ton of aluminium. So this equation is very important. Please underline this in book. Now let's see the process of manufacturing in aluminium industry. So students, I have told you bauxite is the raw material for bulking aluminium. So bauxite we get from bauxite quarry. Okay, so the bauxite, the raw material used in the smelter, is very bulky. It is dark, reddish colored rock. So as it is bulky, the bauxite is transported through rail or the ship. So bauxite reaches aluminium refinery, where now the bauxite is crushed and alumina dissolved out. So in the aluminium refinery, what is the process? Bauxite is crushed and alumina dissolved out. So we got alumina now, and from the aluminium refinery. So now this alumina ore is shipped to the aluminium smelter. Now besides alumina, we got other things also, Like from aluminium refinery, we got calcinated petroleum coke. We got pitch from a colliery, which is black dark substance. And now we come to aluminium smelter. Here, kerolite. Now, kerolite is added as a flux, that is a cleaning agent in the aluminium smelting. And now, what is the kerolite here? It is a metal which is used to dissolve the alumina. So, it is used and it acts as an electrolyte, that is a liquid through which electricity is passed. So, in smelting process, students, kerolite is used as electrolyte, and so in aluminium smelter we pass kerolite and electricity also, and electricity is the main requirement of aluminium smelter. So, in this process, we got the aluminium. So now students, on page 75 we have to discuss chemical industry. So it comprises of both large and small scale manufacturing industries. So in chemical industry we find both large scale industries also and small scale industry also. So now the chemical industry in India, students, is the faster growing and diversifying and expanding also. It contributes approximately 3% of GDP. It is third largest in Asia and occupies the 12th place in the world. And it comprises both large scale and small scale manufacturing units, I have told you. So rapid growth has been recorded in both inorganic and organic sectors. So here, inorganic students, inorganic chemicals, it includes sulfuric acid, which is used to manufacture the fertilizers, synthetic fibers, plastics, adhesives, paints, dyes, stuffs. Then we have soda ash. Okay, so students, inorganic means these are the group of chemicals that contain no carbon. Okay, so sulfuric acids, which is used in the fertilizers, paint industry. Then synthetic fibers, plastics, adhesives, paints, dye stuffs. Okay, then soda ash, which is used in soap industry, paper and glass. And then caustic soda, which is used in soap and detergents. And then we have organic chemical industry. So organic substances which contain the carbon, so petrochemicals, synthetic fibers, rubber, plastic, dye stuff, drugs and pharmaceuticals. Then after this, so these organic chemicals, I have told you, it includes petrochemicals which are used for manufacturing of synthetic fibers, synthetic rubber, plastics, dyestuffs and pharmaceuticals. So students, organic chemical plants are located near oil refineries or petrochemical plants because raw material is readily available, so they are located there only. So students, the chemical industry is its own largest consumer because the basic chemicals, they undergo the processing to further produce other chemicals which are further used in application in industries, in agriculture and in consumer markets also. So this was your chemical industry. Now the next in line after chemical industry is the fertilizer industry. So most of the industries are centered around production of nitrogenous fertilizers, that is urea, phosphatic fertilizers. Then after phosphatic fertilizers, we have ammonium phosphate. So potash is imported in our country because we are deficient here. Third largest producer of nitrogenous fertilizers we are. So industry is increasing. Tremendous boost we have seen in industry after the green revolution. Okay, and prominent, this industry is prominent in the area of Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, UP and Kerala. So this was about our fertilizer industry. Now let's see, now we have to see the another industry, that is the cement industry. So the essential cement, essential for construction activity, for building houses, for factories, for bridges. And this industries require bulky and heavy raw material like limestone and silica. Then coal and electric power along with transportation, so this is also required. Okay, then it is situated in Gujarat coastal area because of the accessibility to the Gulf countries of Dubai and Saudi Arabia. Then the first cement plant was set up in 1904 in Chennai, and reforms such as decontrol of the price and distribution, this has led to increase in the capacity of this industry, and this industry is doing very well in terms of production and export also. So this was about the cement industry. So now, students, on page 76, we have to discuss automobile industry. So this industry provides the base for transport, whether it is for the goods, transportation of goods and the passengers like trucks, buses, cars, motorcycles. So after liberalization, that is when we opened up our economies in 1991. So at that time, we have seen the growth in this industry because of the increase in competition. So earlier, if we see students before 1991, we see only two or three brand cars on Indian roads. It was Ambassador or Fiat. But after that, we have seen so many brands cars on the Indian roads after liberalization. When we went for the new economic policy, we went for the free trade, we opened our economies, and then more choice of these automobiles it came in our country. So the FDI, the foreign direct investment, which was brought in new technology and aligned the industry with global development. So more and more MNCs like the Ford Motors of America, the American MNC, they also came to India and they also set up their plants here when we went for the liberalization and globalization. So the industry is located around Delhi, Gurgaon, Mumbai, Kolkata, Lucknow, Indore, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Jamshedpur. So this was the automobile industry. Then the next is IT and electronic industry. So wide range of products this industry is providing. Calculator to computer. So Bangalore, the electronic capital of India. And in Bangalore, a lot of concentration is there of this industry. And other centers are Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, then Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, Lucknow, and Coimbatore. Now, 18 software technology parks we have, which provide the single window service and high data communication facilities. These parks they provide, and this industry contributes in employment. This is also very satisfactory, the contribution of this industry in employment. 30% of people employed in this sector are women, and this sector is growing due to the business process outsourcing. Like in accounts, you have to do data entry daily, so day to day activities which can be provided by third party, by the outside party. So accounting work can be given to the outside agency, so this reduces the work of a firm or a industry. So this was about our information technology and electronics industry. Now we completed all the industries. We have seen the next topic which we have to discuss is industrial pollution and environmental degradation. So the manufacturing sector is growing, but with that industrial pollution is also been increasing and it is spoiling our environment also. So although industries contribute significantly to the economic growth, they are required for the economic growth and development, but there is increase in the land, water, air, noise pollution, and it spoils our environment that they have caused, and we cannot overlook this. And industries are responsible for four types of pollution: air, water, land, noise. So we will discuss them one by one. Now on page 77, students, the map is given of the software technology park, and in your syllabus you have to mark Noida. It is in UP. Please mark Noida on the map. It is in Uttar Pradesh. Then Gandhinagar, please mark, it is in Gujarat. Then Mumbai, it is in Maharashtra on the same map, page 77. Then Pune, again in Maharashtra. Then Hyderabad, it is in Telangana. Bengaluru in Karnataka, Chennai in Tamil Nadu, and Tiruvananthapuram in Kerala. So these can be asked. Okay, so these places can be asked to mark for software technology park. So please underline, and you have to do this map work, and you have to paste them in your notebook. So the first now page 78, the first thing which we have to discuss is air pollution. So earlier also we have discussed that industrial development, it is good, industrial growth is good, it led to the economic growth and development, but they lead to industrial pollution and environmental degradation also. So industries are responsible for four types of pollution. I have told you: air, water, land, and noise. So let's see first the air pollution. So it is caused by presence of high proportion of undesirable gases in our environment, in our air, such as sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. So airborne Particulate material, students, the dust, the smoke, contain both solid and liquid particles like dust, spray mist, okay, the small drops floating in the air, and smoke. And smoke is, emitted by chemical and paper factories. Brick kilns are there, so these are the major culprits. Refineries are there, smelting plants are there, we have seen the aluminium smelting. Burning of fossil fuels like coals in big and small factories which don't care about the pollution norms. Then toxic gas leaks can be very dangerous with long term effects like the Bhopal gas tragedy. It happened in December 1984 in Madhya Pradesh. So still the effects are visible there. Air pollution adversely affects the human health, animal, plants, buildings, and atmosphere as a whole. So this is about air pollution. Then the water pollution. So water pollution, this is caused by organic and inorganic industrial waste. Okay, organic waste, that is from the textile industry. Okay, inorganic, which is related to the mineral. Effluents, okay, the harmful effluents, the discharge which are discharged from the industries into the rivers. And the main culprits here is paper, pulp industry, chemicals, textile, dyeing, petroleum refineries, tanneries which process the leather, and electroplating industries that let out their dyes, detergent, acids, salts, heavy metals, pesticides, fertilizers, synthetic chemicals, all into our water bodies. So the fly ash, which the thermal plants are using coal. So after burning of coal, the solid particles of ash that is suspended in the air. Then phosphogypsum, then iron and steel impurities. These all are major solid waste in India. So these all are the culprits. Then we have thermal pollution. So when hot water from factories and thermal plants is directly drained into our water bodies, into our rivers and plants, in ponds, so it causes water pollution. So the waste which is dumped is highly toxic. It leads to cancer, birth defects, miscarriages. It harms our aquatic life like the fishes. So that what happens when we dumping waste, what happens when we dump our waste. So soil and water pollution are also close related. Dumping of waste like glass, harmful chemicals, industrial effluents, salts, it made our soil useless. Rain and water then come, then due to the rainwater, all this waste, it percolates, it go deep down to the soil, carrying the pollutants to the ground and to the underground water level also, they also get polluted. Then the next is noise pollution. So it not only results in irritation, in discomfort and anger, it can also cause hearing defects, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, apart from stress and all these things. Unwanted sounds is an irritant and a source of stress. So continuously living in such kind of environment is stressful for the people. Industrial and construction activities, living near to them, machinery, factory equipment, generators, saws, hand tool for cutting wood, electric drills, rock drills, they make lot of noise. So it will be very disturbing to continuously have exposure to this kind of environment. So this is about the pollutions we have seen: air pollution, water pollution, thermal pollution, noise pollution. Now we have to discuss the control. Their control we have to discuss now. Control of environmental degradation. So students, the same page 78, we have seen earlier the pollutions which were caused by our industries to our environment: air pollution, water pollution, thermal, noise pollution. Now we have to control, we have to take certain steps in order to safeguard our environment. So students, every liter of wastewater discharged by our industry pollutes 8 times the quantity of fresh water. So this much is the pollution level. So how can the industrial pollution of fresh water be reduced? So some suggestions are: minimizing used water for processing by reusing and recycling it in 2 or more successive stages. So as I told you that in jute industry, I told you lot of water is required for processing. So rather than discharging the water after the first use, we can use it again and again. Okay, so that water we can reuse, we can recycle before discharging. So again and again we can use that water again for processing the jute. Then the harvesting of rainwater to meet water requirements. So this also we can do. We can collect the rainwater, we can go for the rooftop rainwater harvesting at our homes. So that water can be used for so many household purposes. At least for cleaning we can use that kind of water. Then treating hot water and effluents, whatever harmful discharge is there by the industries and hot water should be treated before we release them into our water bodies. So this treatment can be done in different phases, like the primary treatment. In primary treatment, students, it involves screening, grinding, flocculation and sedimentation. Now in the screening, first we have to investigate what effluents are present in that wastewater. So then we have to grind all that, whatever waste matter is present. So we grind that water to reduce it to fine particles by crushing. Then the third step will start the flocculation, the process by which the fine particles are clumped together into a flock. So the flock may be then float to the top of the liquid, or it can settle down to the bottom of the liquid. So the last step will be the sedimentation. So sedimentation, it can be filtered from liquid, or sediments can be settled at the bottom of the whatever process we are doing. At that bottom the sediments will be deposited. So this was the primary treatment. So we have done the primary treatment, then we'll go for the secondary treatment. In the secondary treatment, it is a treatment process for sewage by using the sewage treatment plant. Okay, like now fungi has been discovered that can eat plastic and can be induced in the wastewater. So this we can do. Then comes the tertiary treatment. So third step is the tertiary treatment. So this is the final cleaning process that improves the wastewater quality before it is reused, recycled or discharged to the environment. So the treatment removes all remaining inorganic compound substances such as nitrogen and phosphorus. So we should follow these three steps. Then only we should discharge the water into our water body. So in this way the pollution will be very less. So this we have seen. Then after that, now students using groundwater reserve by industry should be regulated legally. So this also we should see, that it is not that industries can extract as much groundwater as much they want. So it should be regulated legally. Then particulate matter like dust, smoke in air, it can be reduced by following different methods, like for fitting smokestack. What is a smokestacks? The chimneys which are there in the factories. So we can fit our chimneys with electrostatic precipitators, fabric filters, scrubbers, inertial separators. So all these different devices we can use, like electrostatic precipitators. So we can fix this electrostatic precipitators on the mouth of the smokestack, that is the chimney, means that at the exhaust end. So air will be passed from high voltage current through this stack. So all the dust particles will fall on the plates and air will be purified or cleaned like this. So after dust collection, plate can be changed. Then we can similarly use the fabric filters. Fabric can also be placed on the mouth of the stack or the chimney. All the dust will be collected on the fabric and only air will pass from the fabric, clean air. So fabric can also be changed later on. Then scrubbers. On the scrubbers we have absorbing material like cotton. So above absorbing material we have the source of water. So when air will come in the smokestack, water will also be coming from the water source. So whatever particles are there in the air will be absorbed in absorbing material. Because absorbing material is wet, so all the dust particles will settle down. So with scrubbers also, particulate matter in the air can be reduced. Then we have inertial separators also. So dust particles will be separated from air by changing their speed, their direction, and ultimately, students, dust particles will settle down and fresh air only will come out of the exhaust end. So this we have seen that fitting our chimneys, our smokestacks with these devices can reduce air pollution to a lot of extent. Then the smoke can be reduced by using oil or gas instead of coal and in factories. Then generators should be fitted with silencers to control the noise pollution. Then we can use a noise absorbing material like carpet and curtains. So all these steps we can take in order to reduce, in order to control the environmental degradation, because the sustainable development requires integration of economic development with environmental concerns. Now, students, on page 79, we have to discuss our last topic of manufacturing industries, that is NTPC shows the way. This is very important topic and question can be asked on direct question can be asked on this topic. So, National Thermal Power Corporation. NTPC means National Thermal Power Corporation. So this NTPC has ISO certification for environmental management system, EMS. Sorry. So they are managing the environment in an efficient manner. That's why they are given ISO certification. So pollution has been done, students, by the industries, and we have seen the suggestions are also given to safeguard environment. Then but NTPC has given solution for sustainable development and saving the environment. Now NTPC has taken proactive approach for preserving the natural environment and resources. So the steps which are taken by the NTPC is adopting latest techniques and upgrading existing equipment. Now NTPC knows that more the latest technology they will use, it will create less pollution. So they have upgraded their existing equipment also so that less damage can be done to environment. Then second is minimizing the waste generation by maximizing ash utilization. So NTPC students, they use coal. So due to the burning of coal, lot of fly ash is being suspended in the air. So NTPC makes sure that waste generated in form of ash can be utilized properly. Like fly ash can be used as soil modifier. It improves the fertility of the soil. Ash can be used in cement industry also. So next is providing green belts for nurturing or protecting ecological balance. That is for going for afforestation. So NTPC is going for afforestation. More and more trees they are planting near to their plants. So NTPC is adopting afforestation as their special purpose vehicles for creating the green belts. Then the next one and fourth one is reducing the environmental pollution through ash pond management and ash water recycling system and liquid waste management. So ash pond management means to reduce the pollution of ash in environment. So NTPC is storing ash generated from their plants in ponds. So this is the wet management of ash. So that ash should not be suspended in environment. Then next is ash water recycling. If any water body near to the NTPC is contaminated or polluted with ash, then they are treating that water with chemicals and purifying the water by recycling it. Then the liquid waste management. So the NTPC makes sure that the liquid waste of NTPC is treated properly and then discharged. Then fifth one, the last one, ecological monitoring, reviews and online database management. So this is after sales service which is done by NTPC. After taking the above steps, NTPC makes sure to take reviews of people about impact of their power stations on the environment, so that negative impact should not be more. So NTPC has developed mechanism to observe the things and preserve the environment. So these are the steps which we have seen which NTPC has taken, and this is very important steps in order to safeguard our environment.